Hey guys, welcome back to my video. As explained last time, I'm currently visiting Cebu, and this is my third month here, and it's really allowed me to see a different part of the Philippines. I've been to a couple of beaches, islands, so let's do something today. I wanted to share my experience with you of Cebu, so let's do a travel vlog. Okay, just kidding. This YouTube channel is not a travel vlog, it's a personal finance and adulting channel. So instead, let me teach you about my experience of living in Cebu. As we grow older, it's kind of obvious that we won't be staying in the same place all the time. So whether it's you moving to another city, moving to another country, or if you're in the Philippines, you could be moving to another island. Now, if you're working from home this 2020 and 2021, that's created a kind of special situation where you can now continue to work while traveling around the Philippines. I do know some people who are now working from the beach, so in Siargao or La Union. Honestly, I never understood the value of traveling. When I was younger, I had a colleague that traveled every month or so. And honestly, I thought it's such a waste of money. But boy, was I wrong. When you travel, you get to see a different side of the world, a new way of life, or different cultures. You wouldn't believe it, but I've been to some places here in Cebu where there's no internet. It's kind of a throwback to life 30 years ago, and when you're there, you're kind of reflecting and thinking, how can you live that way these days? Anyway, enough about that and more about Cebu. As a Filipino who has lived in Metro Manila most of his life, I can say that living in Cebu has been very eye-opening. For one, the people here are so friendly. When we visited Camotes Island, we were looking for a scooter to rent so that we could drive around. One of the locals, he helped us look for a scooter shop, and he even drove us there. I offered him a tip, but he just wouldn't take it. And it was the same thing when we headed to the gas station to have our tires checked. There are places in the Philippines where tipping is not customary. They really just do it for the extra service. I don't know if it's because there are less people in Cebu, so there's less competition. Metro Manila has almost 15 million residents at this point. And if you compare that to Cebu, Cebu has less than half of that. And if you look to Google Map and just see how big the space of Cebu is compared to Metro Manila. This huge living environment, I guess it contributes to people being more relaxed down here. Now when it comes to things to do, I can say that Cebu definitely beats Manila every single day. As somebody who loves nature, like beaches and mountains, Cebu is definitely the place to be. From Cebu City, a 30-minute drive to the south brings you to the white beaches of Mactan and Lapu-Lapu. A 30-minute drive to the north brings you up the mountains where you can have a relaxing time while looking at the pleasant view of the city and the sea below. One of my recent weekend trips was to Nanda Cafe. It's an open-air cafe along the mountain ridges of Consolacion. If you're up for longer trips, then a 2-hour boat ride here and there is going to bring you to various islands and provinces. Places like Bohol, Camotes, Olango. It's a fun-filled trip with beaches, waterfalls, and caves. In Manila, I was stuck at home most of the day. It's a concrete jungle which is hard to get out of. Most of the nature activities are held outside Metro Manila. And because of the traffic, it takes you 2 hours to 3 hours of driving just to get there. Here's a useful financial tip for you. Prices in Cebu can be more affordable than Metro Manila. Rent, groceries, restaurants, they come off 10 to 20% cheaper. Every time I head down to the local supermarket, I usually find great deals such as half-price organic eggs, discounted fruits and vegetables. I would think that these items are just snapped up right away. Now if you're coming from Manila or you're being paid foreign rates, then you can take advantage of this geographic arbitrage. What do I mean by geographic arbitrage? This means bringing your income from a higher earning place to a lower cost of living city like Cebu. We do know that the wage rates per region do differ, so it tends to be higher in places like Manila. But of course, if you're an expatriate, you are being paid much differently compared to here. Geographic arbitrage can help you reduce your expenses and create massive benefits for your finances. It's a smart idea if you think about it, and it's currently being done in many cities in the US. But because of the pandemic, now many Filipinos have the opportunity to do so. I do have many friends who have moved out of their condos and apartments in Metro Manila and have moved back to the province. Better yet, stay with your family so you save on rent totally. Okay, if you're still watching at this point, you may be wondering, is there anything negative about Cebu? Up to this point, I presented a mostly positive picture. For sure, there are some things missing here compared to Manila. This one is more related to the availability of certain goods and services. If you want to get trendy items and up-to-date goods such as the latest iPhone or fashion items, then it may be more difficult to get those here compared to Manila. You will have to wait some time. Now, on a more personal level, and this is in terms of medication, but I do take eye drops for my eyes. So I found that it's generally hard to find these in the medical stores here. So I've had to look at a couple of branches just to get the medication I needed. There are also less cultural activities here. So the theaters, the concerts, most of those are held in Metro Manila. Now, on my last point, and I don't know if this is because of my lack of knowledge on the job market here, but in terms of income opportunities, I find that most of the jobs and high earning opportunities are still there in Metro Manila. The head offices, the global offices are still over there. And I hope that's something that changes over time with new presidencies and economic agendas, because there are so many people who could benefit from working opportunities here. And of course, this place is a great location to set up shop. The airport is great and it's just good for living. But who knows, with the new remote working environment these days, I hope that people take this opportunity to live in other areas outside of Manila. As I end this video, I just have so many new experiences living here and it's been great. It's been 3 months already, and should the opportunity present itself, then of course I'd love to experience living in other cities like Pampanga, Iloilo, and Davao. My family's originally from Pampanga, so that's one of the places I'd like to experience in the future. That's it. If you've liked this video, please do give it a thumbs up and subscribe. And do leave a comment down below. What's the best place in the Philippines that you've lived in so far?